Hi everybody, in this quick video I'll show you how to insert data into a table within your database. So as you remember from the last mini lecture, I showed you how to create tables and we created our table called pets. Let's say beyond that we'd like to go ahead and enter in values to our table. The first thing you want to do is double check and make sure you don't already have existing data in that table, so that if you do already have that data, you're not trying to re-enter it in and wind up with some duplication. So we'll go ahead and run our select all statement. And as you can see, we do have one record in here, but let's go ahead and add a little bit more. So in order to add data to a table, not surprisingly, you use the insert into statement, and then you list your table name, which in this case is pets. You don't have to put that in any kind of quotes or anything. And then you have an opening, the opening parenthesis, and then you want to list all of the columns that you're inserting data into. Pet ID we did set up as an auto increment, so we're not going to worry about that one. So we'll start with pet owner, pet species, sex, birth, death, and pet name, which I forgot to add last time, so I did go ahead and add that one in. Then values. And the values are the values for each of those columns. So let's say we want to add Jill Rosen. The pet species is cat. Female. The birth date, let's say it's 2009. It was July 22nd. For the death date, this cat is still living, so we're just going to write null. And then the pet name is Fluffy. All right, so as you can see here, we've put all the values in single quotes, and we have commas between them all. So, and we do have a value to match every single column in our table because, for example, if we were to forget null and we tried to run this, we would get an angry result. So we'll put null back in, and then we'll run it one more time. And it says one row affected because that is a new row that we've inserted. So one row has been affected because now we've added another one. So if we were to run this again, select all from pets, you'd see that we now have 2 records. And it has skipped to 3 because I had another record in there and then I removed it. So that happens sometimes with MySQL. Don't worry about that too much. The ID number is just, again, that unique identifier for each of your records. So, okay, so we've entered in one value. Let's say that we want to enter in multiple sets of values. So we have several records that we want to add. So we're going to do the same thing, insert into pets, and then we have pet owner, pet species, sex, birth, not birth, death, and pet name. Then we have values. And then we're going to enter in each set of values in parentheses, and then we're going to separate them with commas. So for the first pet owner, I own a pet, and it's a dog. It's a male, and his birth date is 2004. He is still alive, and his name is Nanook. All right. And if you look here, I did enter in the date incorrectly. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and change that. And of course, you can always modify how you want dates to be set up in your database. This is just the default. It works pretty well. I recommend just going with that. And I have another pet, also a dog. And she was born in 2007. Not sure of the exact date, so just kind of making that up for practice. And then we have she's still alive, so it's just null. And you'll note that with null, you don't have to put it in quotes. But then when we want to end that, we'll just use the semicolon. Okay, so we've entered in 2 records, and hopefully we've got all the values that line up to each of those. So pet owner, pet species, sex, birth, and then the birth. They're both alive, and then I have both of their names listed. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and fingers crossed I don't have any typos. Looks like I don't, so we're good to go there. It does tell us that we have a couple of duplicates, which is my name, right, and the dog. So let's go ahead and just run the select all statement. And as you can see, it's added these new records for us. So you can do this with as many records as you'd like to add. You can just keep adding them just with another set of parentheses and just keep going from there. Some students also have imported their data for their projects, which works as well. That can be a little tricky depending on the data that you're working with. So I recommend doing it this way just because it's good for practice. But if you can figure it out, that's a way to get it done a little bit quicker too. So that is inserting data into tables.